What's up, YouTube? It's Todd Orstead with Taste Tracker, and today I wanted to talk about building my own broker-ish kind of thing. So, doing as much trading as I've done, I spend a lot on commissions, and I really hate the UI. None of the UI for any of the brokers I've ever used are really what I want. Tastyworks is very close, but their web platform is buggy. It's not mobile friendly. In order to do that, you have to use the app. They all kind of have different pieces of information that you need. So occasionally I'll open up the app to see, for example, how many day trades, because I can't find that on their web. Um, I like Robinhood's free commissions, but I find their options UI to be terrible. It's especially painful if you have to do a roll where you're going in and closing out the old two and opening up the two new. It's definitely not built for that. I would really prefer that Robinhood build a sort of pro interface, which is still simplified. I'm okay with the concept. I actually like the concept of a simplified interface. I think that's where Tastyworks is fairly simple. They don't offer all the features I would like, though, and their website is pretty buggy. I have to refresh like every couple minutes. It's kind of ridiculous because it either loses connection or it shows the wrong figures, and then I refresh and then everything's back to being correct. So I thought, well, there are different services out there that provide you APIs to do the trading for you. And so I'm looking into that, but I thought, well, I'll just mock something up and think about what it would look like if I could build um, a, a, a platform for trading options and stocks as a secondary thing, but it should be capable of doing that as well. So a lot of this is borrowed from Tastyworks, but I would just be looking to add different things that they don't have. Basically, what I'm asking is, what features would you like in a broker that they don't have? And what do you think of this? This is obviously just a mock-up. Nothing here really works. It's just a UI created. So over here would be the portfolio selector, which you should be able to have multiple portfolios. That's one thing Robinhood doesn't have. Here's the P&L for that account, which Tastyworks doesn't have. Then you have all this information very clearly displayed, your current net liquidity or value of your account, the dollars and percentage that you gained or lost today, the amount of cash that you have. This number will be different because it's the account value plus or minus collateral needed or premium sold, those kinds of things. So very frequently, these will be substantially different. For example, over here on the Apple Wheel account, my net liquidity at the moment is only 17,000, but my cash is 60,000. I've sold that many positions that I could, if these all went to green, 100% zero because they're all sold positions, then I would have about 60 in my account. Okay, and then the stock and options buying power, the day trades that you've used. You could click on these positions and it would show, just like in Tastyworks, how when I expand this position, it has the all the legs, and it would have any stock positions that you're in here, and then all your closing orders associated with that. Um, and then it would total all these things up just like Tastyworks would there as well. Um, I probably would offer less fields here, but the question is, do you need more than this? Right now, I have the underlines price and the dollar it moved today and the percentage it moved today, the days until earnings, the overall increase in percentage and dollar value in Disney, in the sum of the Disney position, and then the what it moved today, the collateral that's needed for that position, and the potential profit for the sum of all of the Disney. Now imagine this one said AMD or something like that. Um, and so then when you expand it, you would see just the individual pieces of what the overall gain is for this position, the overall gain or loss today for this position, the collateral for just this position, and the probability of profit just for this position. Up here is a beta weighted view of your portfolio, which Tastyworks has, and I like. Okay, So, from here, then you would click to find a ticker that you wanted to trade. I would click on Amazon. Um, and, again, this is all mock-up. So right now it says Apple up here. It has its price again and the dollar and percentage that it moved today. It would have a little chart here with the similar thing to Robinhood. Then you could add shares and you would hit add and it would come down here into this summary and you would start building what you would actually be getting. So over here, that's this section here where it says, okay, I'm getting one of those and some of that and then one of those. So you would be able to click on this as well, where I would say I want to sell this one and buy this one, depending on whether you're clicking on the bid or ask column. So I had the delta and the volume. I'm not sure that, whether we need more information than that, and whether you need it in this platform. So part of this platform would be to offer the least amount of information that you need in order to get your trades done. So it would be possible, like I don't envision myself doing charting on here. Of course, if it came to that, that would be cool or whatever, but TradingView's chart is so good that I'm not sure I could give that up anyway. But so this is more like Tastyworks in that it's a place to enter your trades, and Tastyworks does a pretty poor job at figuring out which trades you should take. I would say the same thing about Robinhood. Robinhood, if you're just using, a tickers chart, let's go over here to Cap. If you're just looking at this chart to make you to do your trading, and maybe anything other but day trading, but I wouldn't even use this for day trading, but that's like the only place you could potentially use it. If you're trying to trade off of this chart, you're really going to have the odds stack up against you. It's not good for making trading decisions. It's good as a trading platform to get in and get out. And you should be using other systems to determine those. But anyway, so that's really what I'm looking at here, is to make the ease of entering, exiting, and managing positions easier than any other platform. And that's why it's appealing. So yeah, so I would click on these and it would add to here, and then I would do, what kind of order type and when you want to enforce it, and then hit review and send, and it would give you another summary screen just to confirm everything. So that's really all I had here as a concept. Things that I would be interested in would be so when you select a position here, I can group this position. I would want that functionality, rolling, closing as percentage. So I can hit close at 50%. I would want something like that. I would want a button for rolling down, out, and wider. And I would want some of those things configurable. So right now I typically like to roll out, down, and wider for 2 weeks. So that 2-week default could be something that could be configured. So it's just all kinds of stupid stuff like that I'm thinking about adding, and just simplifying this interface a bit, getting rid of all of the junk. If you know me, I actually wrote my own bookmarklet to remove stuff. That's why my Tastyworks screen looks a little bit differently. But if I go into manage extensions here and disable that, and then come back here and reload, you'll see now it's a skinnier screen and it has crap over here and more stuff over here, and I don't like seeing any of that, so I wrote my own code to remove that. So this is kind of the next iteration of me just getting fed up with the brokers. The broker backend that I'm looking at is Tradier. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but basically they provide me APIs that I can call, that I can manage your account. And basically I'm just writing a UI on top of their broker. And the way their fee structure works is that you pay $10 a month, and then whatever the UI that is on top of it charges, which for me, I'm not sure what this would be. This would most likely be a different website than Tasty Tracker. But we'll see. There would obviously be some association there or connection. I would try to build most of the features in Tasty Tracker into the core of it, so that it handled rolling, and had the history. That's again, a reason I wrote Tasty Tracker to begin with was because no broker platform had these analytics on your account or properly handled rules. So it would provide a lot of this functionality just with the knowledge already built into the system, so you didn't have to manually enter it, which is obviously the most ideal, that it just works the way we want it to work. So yeah, so let me know kind of what things you need in a broker when you're looking at your portfolio and when you're entering a trade. At this moment, that's really all I would be looking at doing. Some future things would be like a watch list. Oh, certainly I would have the activity that you had done. So I would show the working and the filled, and I would simplify all of this where it would be grouped either by position or or ungrouped. So it would be grouped or ungrouped. And in groups, you would see this where I bought these two things in one order. Ungrouped would be similar to the history, where it would be like each individual item and how much fees and costs were associated with that. And then obviously filtering and stuff like that. So my basic concept is really just those three areas: the activity, the portfolio, and the trade screen, sort of all baked into one screen here, where it's very simple to manage. And like if we're over here and you're looking at cat, this information is relevant, but how often do you read the about? Is that actually information that matters? This is, again, crucial, and I do think news is good. This stuff is good, but maybe this stuff isn't as good. So, and there's a lot of there's this is minimal to the detriment of the trader, I think. And this is on the other end of the spectrum where it's just too much cluster, and then you get into thinkorswim or something like that, and it's way worse. So yeah, the question is, what would you need to have at a bare minimum in a broker to feel like you could trade successfully? And I think if I spend way more than $10 a month on commissions on my regular sized accounts, so I think that's something too that's attractive, where I could actually be reducing the amount I'm spending. And yeah, I'm basically thinking about this just for myself, and then anybody that would obviously want to use it could. But kind of like Tasty Tracker, I built that for myself, and continue to add to it for myself. And you guys are along for the ride, which is cool. But I don't really see me launching my own broker like actually competing with Robinhood, but interfacing with another brokerage firm using their APIs would be cool. There's a potential then too, because I'm divorced from the actual broker themselves, that I could integrate with any broker. So if Robinhood actually offered public APIs that we could call, then potentially I could connect with them. That's a possibility. Depending on how tightly knit I became with Tradier, then I wouldn't do that. But I would just see how things would go. So yeah, please, 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 let me know what you would need. If this looks good, of course, this would be all scalable. So, this is just a mock-up, but when you go to the screen on mobile, this is what it would look like on a phone, and these charts obviously would be taller so that you could see. But now when I view this position, it's pretty nice and neat, and still viewable. And if I go into trade, I can this is one area I'm working on now, but I would only be showing calls or puts at one given time, and then you would flip in between them. But you would still be able to see the bid and the ask and build your position like a normal options chain. It would just have half as many columns here, because I'd only be showing the calls or the puts. But it would be all real time, so you could switch between the two and watch it build up here in the summary, and the price change to reflect that and stuff. And I think this would give you a pretty good mobile experience compared to, right now, Robinhood's mobile experience isn't bad. It's probably one of the best. but you still don't get the full sort of options chain here that I like so much, and have gotten used to as a more professional trader as compared to sort of a hobby, just buying a single call. If you're just buying a single call, yeah, I mean, this interface is great. But as soon as you start doing iron condors or trying to roll an iron condor, it's insane. It shouldn't be the way it is. So anyway, yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you next time.